Drink beer. Think beer. You're listening to Brew Bloods.
The problem with the world is that everyone is a few drinks behind. That from noted actor Humphrey Bogart. That Mark, he's Dustin.
That's Probst.
Probst, professor.
That is true.
Stuffing things
That's
over here.
Probst and Probst.
And Probst to you.
Okay.
Probst to everyone. We are live at the Libertine. Live for us anyways, not
Which
live
is
for you.
right across the way from the bottle shop.
Yes.
We said, what do they have over there at that bar?
The line is so long at the bottle shop when it was closing that it's still going.
Exactly.
Even now, weeks later.
Whenever you listen to this, it's still going.
Yeah. Yes, the dearly departed Dark Hulk of the World Bottle Company, or the bottle shop, I guess, whatever it's called, World Beer Company or whatever it was called, is now
Bottle Shop World Beer Company.
double dead.
Although there's also like a World Beer Company in Plano. I don't know.
It's very confusing.
I'm confused about which World Beer Company is accurate.
I know. They maybe they are fake beer.
I think
in Plano. They are fake beer.
You are fake beer.
You are fake beer.
Yes.
So Libertine is in Greenville. It's right across the street from
Well, it's
where
on Greenville.
It is in
It's
and
not
on.
in Greenville, the city. It's
That's
on
true.
Greenville.
It is
the road.
on Greenville, yes.
In Dallas.
Yeah. On Dallas?
No, it's in Dallas.
But
on Greenville.
It's on Dallas.
No.
Is Dallas the ground or is Dallas the...
No, this isn't Dallas Road.
I'm confused now.
I can't even hear you anymore. It's so loud.
I'm confused.
I
totally
can tell.
confused.
Yes.
So Greenville, popular area, restaurants, bars, etc. We're here, back here in the area, despite our distaste for Greenville Avenue. We're here.
Mark spent many of his early 20s drunken years hanging out down here.
And my 35th birthday.
Yes.
So we're back here. Libertine is one of the older surviving bars on Greenville.
I would say surviving and thriving.
And thriving, yeah.
And you can hear in the background, it's thriving.
Yeah, they've done... This area, this street, has gone through a lot of turnover. We talked about before, back when we talked about the bottle shop, that it was a elbow-to-ass, booty-shaking scene back in the day.
Right.
And they've been here since then.
They threw a Trader Joe's down here, and around that, a lot of like generic corporate things have popped up.
Yeah.
They try to look like they're artisanal, handcrafted, but a lot of them have been generic corporate.
Yeah.
Libertine is actually artisanal, handcrafted.
Yeah.
It's been here a while.
If you enjoy the craft cocktail, they have some great craft cocktails. They don't do a lot of food here, but they do. They have a small menu, but it's a good menu.
The food they have is really good. The truffle fries, excellent.
Yeah, I am consuming right now the jalapeno soup. Which, if you're a fan of not spicy but jalapeno flavor, it's really, really good. Comes with some cheese toast, which is great.
Right. He's butt chugging it, but if you drink it normally,
if you actually enjoy the taste,
it's good.
I had one tiny teaspoon in my mouth.
Sure, yeah.
The rest went to the butt funnel.
Right.
Yeah.
You needed those calories immediately.
So
yeah.
We came to this one specifically today because they were...
And walked over here.
Yeah, that's true. We also walked over. We walked all the way from East Dallas to here.
Right.
They have one, what we're going to be talking about today, Four Corners. They had a special beer from Four Corners called Vin Diesel. D-I-C-E-L, not spelled as D-I-E-S-E-L.
Yeah, Four Corners is one of those, not old man breweries, but they've been around for a bit.
Yeah.
They came after the initial 2012 push in Dallas, and we just haven't gotten around to them yet because, I'll be frank, it's not a brewery I go to much.
No, I've never been to the brewery, and I've never picked up any. I've had the local buzz, but there's not a lot of pub around the brewery. And
I would say, and you can disagree with me if you want, Mark, because that's how we roll.
Yeah.
But I would say their number one beer that I know of is their local buzz.
That's what I was saying. That's the only one I've had of theirs.
Right. Yeah.
It feels like they're there, but they don't. I don't know if it's them not generating enough pub for themselves, or what the deal is. They don't feel like they're not one of the standout from a publicity perspective.
Right.
They're not a standout brewery from publicity. You don't hear a lot of buzz, ironically so, about Four Corners.
That is true. And, it's harder and harder when more breweries open up to kind of stand out. That's probably part of the problem.
It is, but it does feel like there's not... I don't know. This will be my second beer from them. But you don't hear a lot of buzz about people talking about their beer. And maybe it's because they're not exposing themselves enough, publicity-wise and physically. They're not opening the trench coat.
And literally.
Opening the kimono to enough people to generate that buzz that they need to.
True, yeah.
But you hear people talking about Deep Elm Liquid all the time, and RAR and some others, but OHB,
Or
Pedicolis. I mean,
talked about several
we're
times.
probably 95% of the, responsible for that.
Right.
But you don't hear people talking about Four Corners that much.
Yeah, not really.
And
that's true.
I have no major qualms about them. I'm nonplussed.
I'm not anti Four Corners. I'm just not pro Four Corners.
I'm neither.
Just don't reach for them much.
Under nor overwhelmed by Four Corners. I'm just whelmed. I have no strong feelings about them one way or the other.
Right.
I'm hoping to be pleasantly surprised because we came for this just because it was called Vin Diesel, because we're a couple of bustas. We live our life a quarter of a beer at a time.
Because it's been a long day.
It has been a long day.
Without you, my friend.
Exactly. And when we leave here, we'll race out on cars, and we'll gently nudge each other, looking at each other as we drive down Greenville Avenue side by side.
Oh yeah, exactly.
And then we'll depart on separate streets.
We'll just kind of giggle at each other, and then we'll take off. Yeah.
So, all right. Well, let's get to it. After this, we'll talk a little bit about Four Corners and their Vin Diesel Barleywine.
Four Corners Brewery.
Bustas. You're a busta.
Sponsored by Barbacoa Apparel. Barbacoa Apparel is a San Antonio-based independent clothing line that caters to Texans and Texans at heart. To find out more about Barbacoa Apparel or to buy your favorite taco tee, go to barbacoaapparel.com.
Beer will come and go. We all know that. The most important thing in this life will always be the people in this room. Right here, right now.
Couldn't hear a thing you said, but I'm going to assume it's good.
It's a little loud in here right now. I was trying to make a funny quote comparing beer to the Fast and the Furious.
All right,
it's
fair
enough. Total complete failure.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm professor
I will
stuff.
re-listen and see if it's funny.
Maybe give it a nice hoo-hoo, ha-ha.
Right, exactly.
So yeah, we're talking about Four Corners today, the Vin Diesel beer, so why don't you load me up on some information about
Four Corners?
About the beer, yes.
Okay.
And the brewery. Why is this? It's so loud in here. No,
I know, it really is.
It's really awkward to talk.
I'm sorry, I apologize.
You should apologize. It's all your fault. You're a busta. It's your fault.
Well, Four Corners, they are one of the earlier entrants to the craft beer scene here.
To the second wave, right?
Right. They were not quite 2012. I think they were about 2013. They've mainly been big on the scene for the local buzz, I would say. I think every brewery has to have that. They have to have one
signature beer.
We got Velvet Hammer from Pedicolis. We got Temptress from Lakewood.
Right.
Any of these locals, they have, Blood Honey from Revolver. I know they got bought out by Big Beer, but I'm going to still call them local. That's their thing.
Everybody needs their one key beer.
Right.
For Tubbs, the IPA, even though
the Tubbs IPA, yes,
rebel against that.
Yeah, exactly. The Franconia Dunkel. I mean, they all have something.
You say that. I would say Franconia's is probably their wheat. At least it was for a long time.
It's 1A and 1B for those. But anyway, we've discussed that before.
Right.
But yeah, I would say their local buzz is their big thing. But yeah, they pretty much, just like several other local Dallas breweries, they try to go ahead and cover every different style. The local buzz is a Honey Rye Golden Ale, for anybody that doesn't know it, which is probably anybody not in Dallas. They also have tried the Heart of Texas, a red ale, then the notorious OAT, which is an oatmeal stout, which is actually pretty good. I've had a taste of that, and that is a good one. They also have the El Chingon. Yeah, which is their IPA. Their IPA is not bad. It's not a bad standard single IPA. I don't know if you've had that, Mark, but I think I've had most of these at one time.
I've only had
the
local buzz, so.
So that's it. Okay.
That's it.
Yeah. But, so they've, they're one of the older...
For me, this will be my Tokyo Drift of Four Corners beers.
Okay.
Let's just hope it's not as bad as Tokyo Drift.
That doesn't sound good, but anyway, most of these breweries...
Actually, Tokyo Drift was 3, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
this will be my Too Fast, Too Furious.
Yeah, exactly. This is your pump it up version. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Most of their beers land in the 85-90% range on rate beers, so better than average, but not stellar, I would say. But that doesn't mean this won't be stellar.
Right. So the ABV for this beer is, we don't know. It's a barley wine, So I'm expecting that it's not listed. This beer is not listed on the Four Corners site.
Yeah, this beer is very, like, I don't know.
Now, did you say this was a collaboration with Grapevine?
It is, yeah.
Okay, so Grapevine is a local craft brewery that they splashed onto the scene. They started canning almost immediately.
Yeah.
I remember because we went to Big Texas one year. They had just started canning.
Locals would probably know them for their Lake Fire.
Yeah, Lake Fire is their signature beer.
Yeah.
And recently, this past year, they decided that they were going to stop canning. They were going to stop distributing. They were going to be a brew pub only, and they're going to do contract brewing for others. So you can find...
Maybe not a bad idea. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I guess they weren't getting enough pub, and I don't blame them because, again, they're another brewery that not a lot of pub for them.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe
I would say maybe they had a little bit more because of, like, Grape Fest. They were, like, the sponsor of that. And, you know, locally they got
But you never heard anybody, like, jumping out of their pants for
nobody was like,
one of their beers.
Man, you got to try this Grapevine beer.
Right.
You're right.
Right. Their Lake Fire was their signature beer.
Right.
They decided to stop distributing, and they're contracting now for other people. They're microbreweries. So.
Right.
Yeah, we don't know the ABV for this beer.
We don't have a description.
It's not even listed on their site. Rate Beer and Beer Africa have no ratings for the site, and Untappd has it 3.94 out of 5.
Right. And that's all. That's all we have.
Yeah. So expectations for this beer? I mean...
a brand new barley wine is not normally my favorite style. I like barley wines to age a little bit.
Yeah.
So I don't have high expectation. I don't have low, but I don't have high.
Yeah, I don't really have any expectations like you. I'm not a big fan of fresh barley wines.
Right.
So they tend to be a little too bitter.
Right, yeah, I agree.
And they really need to age a bit. I mean, the whole intent of barley wines back in the day was there was the conflicts between France and England, France and Italy.
Here comes an education segment by Mark.
But there was the grape line between France and Italy, and when they intended to make, when they couldn't get the grapes they needed from France, they decided to make barley wine instead to be a replacement. It was meant a lot of times, especially if you're wealthy, you would make a beer when your first son was born, and you would crack it open when he turned 18. So that shows you that barley wine was meant to age quite a bit.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be a new brewery.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be a new
brewery,
beer.
New beer.
Yes. Yeah, so I don't have a lot of expectations. I'm expecting to be disappointed by this beer, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
So let's talk about Four Corners, and then we'll get straight to the Eurobuster Vin Diesel barley wine.
Four Corners Brewery was started by George Esquivel and Greg Leftwich in 2013. They originally met in Oak Cliff, an up-and-coming area of Dallas proper. They started brewing in their garage and continue to do so commercially. They said about the beers they make, they love craft beer, love Dallas, and attempt to capture the local flavor of the area in all the brews they make. Four Corners is currently located in the Trinity Groves area, but is planning a move to the Cedars soon. They feature 5 regular beers, along with 3 seasonal selections. Their regular rotations include Local Buzz, a Honey Rye Golden Ale, Heart O Texas, a Red Ale, Notorious OAT, an Oatmeal Stout, El Chingon, a single IPA, and El Super B, a Saison. Their ABVs range from around 5% to the imperial borderline of 8% ABV.
The overall impression of a barley wine is a well-hopped American interpretation for this, an American barley wine, of the richest and strongest of the English ales. The hop character should be evident throughout, but does not have to be unbalanced. The alcohol strength and hop bitterness often combine to leave a very long finish. Commercial examples include the Great Divide Old Ruffian, the Avery Hog Heaven Barley Wine, the Rogue Old Crustacean, and the Sierra Nevada Bigfoots. The Bigfoot one is
very good.
It is, but that's one of those that I had fresh, and I did not like it at all.
Really? Okay.
Of course, this was a long time before my palate evolved into the Voltron of beer tasting that it is now.
It's before your palate and liver all evolved, and you can actually handle a lot more
It evolved like a Pokemon.
Right, exactly. Your liver is now made of stone, and your palate is, wide open.
Exactly. My liver's pretty much dead at this point. So the aroma for a barley wine, the hop character should be moderate to assertive and often showcases citrusy, fruity, or resiny New World varieties. Rich maltiness with a character that may be sweet, caramelly, bready, and or fairly neutral. And I would say smelling this one, it's pretty neutral.
There's really no aroma.
There's malt there, but not much else.
The slightest of slight. There's really nothing.
It's like a candle that's dying, like it's reaching the
I really don't smell much of anything.
There's not much there. It's like that's what I'm saying. It's like there's like a few globs of wax in your candle. And you decide to light it up, just to see what you get because
I agree with that.
You farted up a room, and there's not much there.
Yeah, I agree.
there's not a lot of character. There's a little malt, and that's about it.
That is true. Looking at it, it has, a little bit of like a caramel look, I would say.
Yeah,
there's really you can't see anything through it. There's a little bit of a white head on top.
And the BJCP standard is light amber to medium copper, and maybe dark or light brown. So I would say this
fit in that.
This falls definitely in the copper range for sure.
Yeah, it's copper to literally like the caramel inside of Twix or something. That's kind of what it looks like.
Yeah, I can't really. There's not enough light in the Libertine here to really tell you much more about it. You can't really see through it very easily because it's very low light in here, but.
Yeah, but you would be able to see something if it was clear, and it's not. I mean, it's definitely thick.
Yeah, this thing, the generally barley wine should have a lot of lacing, and I will say this one does accomplish that quite well.
Oh, it has a ton.
It's really thick. It's viscous. It's a lot like that ice block we had a few weeks ago from Franconia. Very, very appears to be very thick. We'll see how it is upon butt chugging it into my mouth.
Right.
Filter
it that way and then
I filter it through my butt first. I have like a whole weird system going.
Sure, yeah. That's the way it goes.
Now flavor. The flavor should be strong, rich, malty, with a noticeable hot flavor and bitterness in the balance. Moderately low to moderately high malty sweetness on the palate, although the finish may be sweet to quite dry. So quite a bit of a range there.
Yeah. There's definitely sweetness. There's definitely dryness. It has a very dry finish.
Yeah.
And a sweet up front.
It is very, very sweet up front. It's very, it reminds me a lot when we went to Hawaii, went to Kauai, and we went to the meadery. You know
that's what the Islanders say.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Mark.
How sweet that mead was we had.
Yeah.
It reminds me a lot of that mead.
Yeah, I would agree.
It's not necessarily a bad thing. But I think this one, as barley wine will benefit from aging.
Yeah, that's really sweet, and then it's a really biting back end to it.
Yeah, it's very... Biting is the right word, yeah. It's very, very biting.
Yeah. Really kicks you right in the tongue taint. That's what it does. Yeah. Like squarely in the taint.
So it's very dry, not quite champagne-like, but dry.
Yeah, I mean, I've had drier, but it's pretty dry.
It's really sweet up front, and then the taste, for me at least, the sweet taste of it, that real nectar-y type taste, just pretty much disappears.
Oh, immediately,
and then it becomes just bitter.
Oh, wow, yeah, that fades quick.
Yeah, it's like a ghost.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say this would definitely benefit from a little bit of aging.
I think a good year on one of these kegs, or two, would really behoove its flavor palette quite a bit.
Nice use of behoove.
I
appreciate that.
I've been trying to. I have a B word of the day dictionary that just
behoove was today.
Behoove was today.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
But no, I think it's not a bad beer.
No,
it's not a standout.
Yeah.
But I think it would become a lot better over time, as barley wines are meant to do, is to age. So I think this one could easily sit in a cooler for a year and be a lot better for it.
Yeah, I would agree. So, ratings. I would say this one is a little bit caramely sweet up front with a little bit of a biting back end. So, for me, I would like both of those to kind of balance out a little bit. We had an episode where we were at the Barley House. We were at the bottle shop.
It's another place we can go is the Barley House.
Right, sure. And they had, several vintages of different barley wines. And in that episode, we talked about the fact that they did benefit from aging, 2, 3, 4 years.
Yeah.
This one does not have that benefit. It was 2016 release. And I think if we had this aged just a little bit more, it would take a little bit of the edge off. I think it has potential.
Yeah.
And I also don't think it's bad in its current state. But I would say it would benefit a lot from a little bit of aging. So barley wine, not a normal type of beer I go for. Although I've had several of them. It's not normally like if I just had a list of different beer styles, it would not be the one I'd go for.
Yeah.
But that being said, this is not a bad beer. I think it's got real potential. And let's go see it in 2018 or late 2017. I think it'd be very good.
When it's of legal age.
Yeah, exactly. For now, present state, I have to give it 3.75 out of 5.
So yeah, the name for this is Dodge Charger, which is the car that Vin Diesel drives in Fast and Furious, the old black Dodge
You always
Charger.
have to name everything, don't you?
That's the way I go. It's my marquee. I'm a marketing genius, and that's what I came to. My very expensive degree from SMU took me 10 years to complete. I have a master's in marketing, and that's all it came to.
It was a tremendous degree.
Tremendous. Yeah, Dodge Charger, because much like that car, it was cool at the time when it first came out, but it only got better with age. And I think this is definitely a beer that could benefit from that aging. I think we said that like 10,000 times in this episode. But it's a barley wine. It is. It's got a lot of, like you said, got a lot of potential. I wish the flavor would last a little longer. It doesn't linger at all, and it just kind of leaves you with the bitter on the back end. That may change over time. I mean, who's to say until somebody taps a keg, and like you said in 2018, who's really to say? But as it is right now, you know, it kind of reminds me of like a Belgian strong ale in some ways, like a dark ale, just as in its present state. And it
does kind of have that earthy feel to it.
Yeah, and it's a decent representation of that. I don't like how dry it is on the back. Like the taste is just gone, and then you're left with some bitterness and a very, very dry mouth. I don't really like that, but I do like the upfronts on it. I think it's got a very, very dark ale-like character to it. It's really sweet. The alcohol presence is pretty, assuming it's somewhere around 9 to 12%, I'm guessing. It's pretty well masked.
It'd be great to know that.
It would be great to know, but we don't know that. But it's pretty, if that's what it is, assuming it's that strong, it's pretty well masked. It's pretty well hidden. You don't get any alcohol here at all, which is nice. So, again, definitely would benefit from aging. As it is in the present, that's all we can rate it by. I'm right there with you. 3.75 out of 5. Giving us a final score of 3.75 out of 5.
You did that math in your head, didn't you?
I did. I'm a genius.
Wow. Impressive.
Like a damn Sherlock Benedict Cumberbatch.
That was good, yes.
Thanks for listening to yet another episode of Brew Bloods. We appreciate all the support. Thanks for downloading. Thanks for listening. Thanks for telling a friend. If you haven't told a friend, you should.
Tell a friend now.
Tell a friend now.
If you don't have a friend, make a friend.
Make a friend. Get on Tinder or Flinger or go to pizzeria.com and make a friend.
Friendster.
Yeah, go to Friendster. Resurrect Friendster. Dig it up from the grave. Go to MySpace. Make a friend.
Right, exactly.
Get your top 12 friends on MySpace and recommend the show
Bookface,
to all
whatever.
of them. Yeah. Snappy chats.
Right.
Whatever your platform is, just tell them about us. We'd appreciate it. If you've not subscribed to the show, you should. It's completely free. It costs nothing to you. All it costs you is a free app that you can download to get the podcast and type in find us on...
All it costs you is a little bit of space on your phone.
And a little bit of your dignity just for listening to us.
Or your iPad or whatever device.
Whatever your preferred device is. Your Alexa,
right.
Play Brew Bloods.
Right.
For those of you who are listening to us on your Alexa device. Just play the next episode of Brew Bloods.
Exactly.
Alexa, play the next episode of Brew Bloods. Alexa, subscribe to Brew Bloods. All of you who have Alexas are probably hating us right now.
Right.
If you don't mind, leave us a review on iTunes. We'd really appreciate it. But above all, tell a friend. Check us out on social networks. Tumblr, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Snapchat. If you have any feedback on the show, you can email us at brewbloodshow@gmail.com.
Yeah.
You can call us 469-573.
Yeah, put the dot later.
That's 469-573-2337. And if you prefer Reddit, if you prefer to rail against us like somebody do on Reddit, go to reddit.com/r/.
If you want to get into a Reddit fight, let us know.
All right, we'll catch you guys next week for yet another episode of Brew Bloods.
Probst.
Jeff Probst.